Hello, and welcome to this week's very late episode of Bob's Live. Normally we're live at 5 p.m., but this week Facebook decided not to cooperate. And the problem with that is the streaming software that I use uses Facebook to log in. So if I can't log into the software, I can't stream anywhere. So I had to figure that out, and I had to go into Facebook, find where the applications are, renew the authentication there, so the two things could connect together. So it's a weird, like, background thing when you're dealing with business pages. But anyhow, we're up and running, and through luck of the draw, I actually picked the right Facebook page in the drop down menu because every one of our stores and also our wholesale locations have their own individual Facebook page. So when I hit the drop down, it just has like 10 Bob's Markets listed. It doesn't really show you the difference between them. So I just had to kind of guess, and I went down to the last one on the list because that's the way it is on Facebook. Got lucky. Anyhow, we are streaming on Rumble, Facebook, X, and also YouTube. And then, of course, you can always find us online at bobsmarket.com/live. And, well, I had all those troubles getting the stream started tonight, but I do have, at least for me, it was a little bit easier of a show to set up because this week I thought we would head out to the greenhouse and take a look at what we have going on out there because we're just ramping up production and we've got a lot going on. So I've got 3 different videos tonight. Uh, 2 of them are from TikTok, so they're, narrow. Uh, but it gives us a good look at what's happening out in the greenhouse right now. So, first up, let's head out to the greenhouse.
Hi, today I am out here in the greenhouse in a spot we were at just a couple weeks ago. But when we were out here the last time, this section was completely empty. And in fact, they were in the process of replacing the heaters that are just above my head. So, anyhow, right now, this section is full of plants. And I thought we would take a closer look at what we have growing and talk a little bit about numbers. I know math is boring, but trust me, this is going to be cool. So in this section of the greenhouse, we're growing begonia seedlings. And the most common tray size that we grow is 288. So there's 288 seedlings per tray. So right here, we have 1 tray. So let me change the angle a little bit there, and you can start to see the trays, the outlines of them. And we grow them on what we call benches, which is a block of 50 trays. So if you do the math, and I'm terrible at math, I'm trying to do this in my head, it's roughly 14,000, a little bit over 14,000 seedlings per bench. Okay, and then if we go all the way down through this greenhouse down to the middle aisle down there, there is right around 50 benches. So it comes out to right around 700,000 plugs per half bay, I guess you could say, down to the middle. So if you were to fill up this greenhouse all the way down to the far end down there, you'd be looking at about 1.5 million seedlings. And then from down here, all the way down to the other far end of the greenhouse, we have 24 bays. So yeah, it is a ton of seedlings. And in fact, in a year's time, we'll grow right around 150 million seedlings. And of course, when I'm talking numbers, I'm kind of approximating because we do grow different sizes of trays. This tray right here, this Super Olympia pink begonia, this is a 512 tray. So it has 512 seedlings per tray. So it's the same size as the 288 tray as far as the dimensions, but the plug size is smaller. And a lot of it comes down to what type of equipment the customer has. And, you know, that kind of determines what tray size they get. And also what shape the plug size is. So over there we have standard 288 trays. Right here behind me, we have a 288 that is called a CE tray. So instead of a, I guess it's an octagonal plug, a CE tray has more of a square plug. A few weeks ago, we were taking a look at these geranium baskets. They had just hung them up, but right now we have some of them that are starting to bloom. And just look at that cute little bloom. The thing is though, once these get a bit bigger, these first blooms are going to get trimmed off, and that way it will help these plants kind of bush out and get fuller. And that's a quick update of what's happening out here in the greenhouse.
So that is a look at just the sheer number of seedlings that we have growing right now. And that's just one greenhouse out of, what, 3 or 4 big greenhouses that we have now. And then a bunch of other smaller greenhouses. So yeah, this time of year we get into crazy numbers. So the next piece of the puzzle is how all those seedling trays get sown. And although sometimes we do have to go in with tweezers and fix the trays, which there was a crew over there doing that today. They're working their way through marigolds and zinnias, which marigolds, they have kind of a rod-shaped seed, so, you know, it's kind of shaped like this, so it doesn't really... I picked up a green marker, so the cap's invisible on it. But yeah, they're kind of shaped like a rod, so whenever they run through our machine, they don't stick very well. And I don't have anything that's ball-shaped. But most of our seeds that we try to use are pelletized, so they're a little ball, and it sucks up against the drum really well. And yeah, I'm talking about a seeding machine that we haven't seen yet on video. So let's take a look at how our seeders operate. And what I did today is I just followed one tray through the machine. And we have multiple seeders, and in a week's time, we'll sow this year during the peak around 40,000 trays a week. And I guess I could talk over this video. So first went through a machine or a roller called a dibbler, and right here's where it sucks up the seeds and they get dumped on a row at a time. And then it goes on through and gets a coating put on it, and then it goes through and gets watered. Now, these seeds that they were sowing here, they had to kind of slow down the machine today but when we're running at full speed, we can do a tray in about 3 seconds. So yeah, that is sowing seeds, and it goes through really quickly. Um, the other thing is this time of year, it takes a lot of maintenance out in the greenhouse. Stuff's constantly breaking, and part of my job, or well, my actual job, um, part of it is online marketing and doing fun stuff like this. The other part is working on our IT infrastructure, which for me, that's everything from this afternoon. I was working on updating DMARC settings for our email system, which, yeah, it's boring. It's a security thing, you know, really boring. I've got like some of the test printouts here that I've been looking at. But the other part of it is getting out in the greenhouse and working on some equipment. And one of the new things that we installed in our newest greenhouse that's up behind Dollar General is a lighting system. And I've shown it before, but this past week we had one light that was giving us some trouble, so I needed to pull it down to work on it. So what I did is I put a spare light up in its place and then pulled the one down to work on. So I just took my camera and kind of shot a quick video of that process of swapping out a light. So, yep, might be a little bit boring, but yeah, it's a part of my job that you might not normally see. That's sort of the other half of what I do.
Bumped a basket there. Looks like it's okay. There we go. Okay. And there we go. And the other side. Let's do the hard side first. And you come down. Yep. Come on. And there we go. Alrighty, got power. Now, let's see if it works. Okay, we're all on. And boom. These should be, yep, right on the money. Ah, awesome.
And that is, yeah, the other half of my day-to-day work. Well, that is all that I have for this week. Everything is really ramping up here at Bob's. In the next few weeks, we've got some tours that are coming up, and yeah, I've got some high school groups coming in for tours. What a lot of them do is they get the partial plug trays that we have left over from our production process, and then they take those back to their school greenhouse and transplant them and actually use that to help fund their high school greenhouse programs. So that's pretty cool. But something that I want to be doing here later on this spring is our spring color tour. So I'm going to be working on coming up with a date for that. So keep an eye out for that. And then another thing that I have coming up, and let me find it here on our website. Along the lines of doing tours and different things like that, let me head over to the event schedule. March 4th through March 8th is Green Career Week. So if you know of a school that would want me to come and speak about green industry careers, or a school that would like to come for a visit during that week, it is a program set up through an organization called Seed Your Future. And yeah, it's really great. It's designed to help get kids interested in careers in horticulture. So I might be planning a couple of events along with it too. So that is another thing to look forward to coming up. And well, that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. So until next time, keep growing.